How about we look at fitting the role to the candidate?
Hello and welcome to Meet the Coach. I'm your host, Carla Regan, and today we're going to be talking about all things related to your career and how you can give your career wings, just like Red Bull, right? Our guest today is Carmel Brown from the Proven Group. Now, Carmel is a highly experienced human resources manager. She's a resume writer, an interview coach, and a qualified trainer and assessor. It's a broad range of qualifications. She's also the director of the Proven Group, which has won multiple business awards in the areas of HR and career-related services. Carmel's based in Melbourne. She's also based in Geelong and in Ballarat in Victoria, Australia, and joins me today. Hi, Carmel. Welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Carla.
I know our theme's centered around giving your career wings like Red Bull, and I'm really keen to jump into our topic today for a few reasons, actually. But before we do that, can you share with us your journey of how you became the director and founder of the Proven Group?
How it actually started is that my sister, she had her baby. She was heading back into the workforce. Even though being a HR manager herself, she thought, I've got to write a resume. She thought she would seek assistance to do this. Trying to find somebody to help her do this, there was nobody. So I identified a massive gap in the market to think, I wonder how everybody else does this. So hence that is how originally our first business name was called Proven Resume Results. That's how that company was born. A couple of years on from starting this business, we also established another business called Proven Recruitment Results. The reason we did this is because we had a light bulb moment. The light bulb moment came about one day. I was writing a resume for a graduate accountant. He was a great guy. He come to me and he said, Carmel, I'm so good with numbers, but I'm no good with words. I said, that's okay. I said, I'm no good with numbers, but I'm great with words. So I wrote his resume. And there was just something about him. And because I'm connected to a lot of accountants, I thought, I'm going to ring one accountant in particular. And I'm just going to say, I've met this person. You're probably not hiring, but would you like to meet him anyway? So I rang this particular accountant. He met my client and he too seen what I could see and he hired him. And I thought, oh my gosh, wow. There's nobody that does that can write somebody's resume. They're not judging them by a piece of paper. They're actually informally interviewing them along the way and can introduce them to another employer. Hence even saving them a lot of time and money as well with writing a job ad and shortlisting, etc. So that's how Proven Recruitment Results was born. A couple of years again on from that is that we get asked a lot for position descriptions, employment contracts, policies, procedures, terminating staff. So the business was getting bigger. There was still only the two of us. So, of course, we needed to expand. We then expanded into HR, human resources, which is a very major focus of our business as well today. So instead of having three business names, we thought, wow, okay, it's time to rebrand. So having the name The Proven Group is what we rebranded to. We kept the main name Proven, and we did this because of the support and the proven, I suppose, backing of the business awards that we've won, and the Proven Group. So we just grouped all the businesses together, and now we are your one-stop shop, starting from resumes, careers, recruitment, through to HR. And just finishing on that as well, I just wanted to say is that even though we were a team of two, we are now a team of 7. And just during COVID is where we hired our last 4 awesome, amazing staff members.
What an amazing story. Is your sister still in the business with you?
Yes, she is. So Bernadette's based in between Melbourne and Geelong. And and she writes resumes as well.
I love the journey of, it's been almost an organic growth for you. Yeah. The opportunities come in and you've taken advantage of them, which is wonderful because it served the market and served the general population. So yeah. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for creating the Proven Group. As a summary, Carmel, what would you say the Proven Group specialises in?
So we specialise in, apart from what I've mentioned, the resumes, careers, recruitment, HR, but in particular, what we specialise is in outplacement, and we also assist job seekers to find the right career for them.
Okay, so for those that might not know what outplacement means, can you just elaborate on that and your services there?
Outplacement, yeah, it is a word that a lot of people hear. They're confused. They don't know what it actually is. But what it actually means is when there's a particular business that they're needing to like downsize or terminate an employee, but not due to their poor performance. Most of the time it's, for example, the whole pandemic that we've just been through. Of course, their business is going through downturn, so they can't retain the staff that they would like to because there's just not enough work. So where we come into it is that we offer the service of outplacement. And how it actually works is that we help, so the business owner will actually help the exiting employee find another job. And where we come into it is we assist with the job search and everything else that comes around with an application. So we prepare their resume, their cover letter, their key selection criteria when required. We also assist with LinkedIn profile writing or updating. And as I always say, my job when I'm writing for my client, my job is to get my client to the interview, and it's their job to get the job. So I also assist them with interview coaching. So with that way, with the business supporting the exiting employee, they've now got the best chance to quickly move on and find their next career. And the business will normally fund this as well. And it softens the blow when the business is trying to downsize as well.
I love that. I've just written down a few things. The LinkedIn profile, a lot of people forget about social media and what your personal branding is like on social media or what you've posted. I dare say you've probably come across quite a few people that may not have got the job because of what they've posted on social media.
Yes, definitely. They do forget, and they forget what their friends can post too.
Yes, and tagging them in.
Yes.
Look, sticking on social media, like recently, well, not recently, probably over the last few months, I've noticed a lot of posts around the Great Resignation. It's bound to happen and people are going to leave their jobs. And I want to talk about that with you because obviously this is your area of expertise. So how do you work with people that maybe want to be, part of that Great Resignation and might want to change jobs, change careers, or potential job seekers that are looking for opportunities? Can we just dive a little bit deeper into that?
Yes, of course, Carla. Yeah, the Great Resignation, it's everywhere, isn't it? In particular, it is in America, and that's where a lot of things tend to stem from. And yes, when it comes to Australia and being in Australia, it will be really interesting to see how it does unravel. Like COVID has caused so much burnout, so much stress, and it certainly has changed the way that employers, and I'll use the word how they're now valuing their staff. And that is so pleasing to see because unfortunately it takes something to happen sometimes before you can realise exactly the great quality staff that you do have, and a lot are doing everything they can to retain them. So it's certainly an employee's market out there. I've never seen the marketplace like the way it is at the moment. And how we assist clients, especially in this space with the Great Resignation, is because they're like, oh yeah, let's just jump on board and do this. But then they think, oh, okay, do I continue doing what I'm doing? Do I just move to another employer and stay in the same type of role? Or do I be really bold and outrageous and fun and think I'm going to start a new career? So that excites me. I really enjoy assisting those starting a new career. It's more to decide what can they actually do. And I'm very passionate about it, and those that know me know that I am. And we do use a tool called DISC. And DISC, it actually stands for D for direct, I for influential, S for a steady, and C for compliance. So with a DISC behavioural profiling tool, it's not a personality test, which is fantastic. And we use an Australian model, which is also really important because it doesn't have the American jargon or lingo in it as well. And it just takes into account the environment that you're in. And what's important about that is because we all adapt our behaviour depending on the environment. So, for example, the way we behave at work is different to how we behave at a party, to maybe how we behave at a football match, especially when your team is winning. So when candidates fill out the questionnaire, they have their work hat on. And that is how we're able to actually ascertain their natural working style. And the best thing about this report is that it's about a 12, 14-page report, and the last 3 pages have the top 50 jobs that suits their natural working behaviour. And so it's really, really interesting to see, and you see their eyes light up and think, oh, wow, yep, that's what I do, or oh, wow, can I do that? And there's one particular client that comes to mind. She was a practice manager, very successful, but she just had enough. She couldn't climb the ladder anymore, wanted to do something different. So on her DISC profile, the top one that was listed was real estate. And she said, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do sales. No. And then just down from that was events management. And she went, wow. She said, that excites me. She said, I never actually thought that I could do that. She said, yep, let's go with that. So that is one way how we're able to assist those, especially going through the Great Resignation.
Oh, I love that story. You've just given her career wings, right?
Yes.
With that tool.
I have. Yeah, exactly.
I love that the tool can help job seekers seek their next career move, even if they don't know what it is. Because a lot of people are in the wrong job and tend to stay in there without realizing that they've got a lot of options. Let's talk about the flip side for the business owners that may be watching and listening to this interview, and for employers. How could this tool assist them? Because I see there's probably a lot of benefits. Can you just talk about that, please?
Yes, I sure can, Carla. It's there's so many benefits, and you are right. I think when people are in work, they can stay in the same job because that's what they do. It's a bit like, we always do what we've always done type of thing. And COVID has been a bit of a shift, those working from home, those leaving work, other staff having to step in. Whereas before, I think a lot of staff were just pigeonholed into what they were always doing, as I said, because that's the way it was always done. With the DISC tool, to be really quite honest with you, I use it in 12 different ways throughout the arms of the business. But in particular, I not only use it just for candidates and job seekers, but I use it a lot in recruitment. And how I use it in recruitment is also alongside its, I suppose, sister tool, and that's called job profiling. Because as we know, with recruitment, we turn up to an interview, we're all dressed up, we've all rehearsed our lines. It's a one-act play. We bring along our resume, which outlines skills, qualifications, experience, and all that looks wonderful. But what about somebody's temperament? What about will they fit in with the culture? Will they fit in with the rest of the team? We're always so focused on fitting the candidate to the role. How about we look at fitting the role to the candidate? As Belinda, my senior HR strategist, she always says, what a revolutionary idea. Like, how about we do that? Because as we know, poor culture, it results in high staff turnover, unmotivated staff, no productivity. Like, who actually wants that? And human beings, we're complex creatures. And it's a tool that it demonstrates it's not rocket science. We can actually all get along, and we can recruit the right people, have the right dynamics and the right culture. And that's why even when we were rebranding, our tagline now is actually great people, better results. And other ways that we do use DISC, we use it a lot in team building. That's probably my favourite, to be really quite honest. The reason being, it's actually called DISC in Teams. So just a really quick little snippet about that is that we'll go to an organisation, the team will fill out the questionnaire. We'll all come back into the room, and we will have, for example, all the D's, I's, S's and C's sitting all together, reminding you that D is for that direct, dominant type of behaviour. I is influential. They love people. S, they also love people, but they're also, they make them great listeners and also great allied health, just on a side note. And C, they're all about compliance, policies, procedures, accuracy, attention to detail. So you'd like your dentist to be a high C, definitely. So we all come back into the room and we let the Ds go first, because the Ds always go first. And the Ds will talk about how they like to be communicated with and how they like to be managed. Then we go to the Is, the S's, and the C's. And the best part about this is I love is all the moments. They go, So Betty will think, and I normally use the names Betty and Bob, just so you know, just as my name. So Betty will always think, he always thought, Bob was always just grumpy. But no, he's just a high D. He likes things in bullet point. No, hurry up, get to the point. Don't ask me how my weekend was, move on. Whereas if you do that to a high I, they think you're quite rude, and I would like you to ask how my weekend was. So in a nutshell, everybody gets to know who everybody is and knows how to approach and communicate and manage each other, hence a really, happy environment, which is, really super exciting. That's why I love it. Also, this time of the year as well, as we know, there's Year 12 students are finishing up school. So we do a lot of careers counselling, and we do a lot of what's called DISC with students. So once again, with students, they can't really put their working hat on. They haven't really worked yet, or if they have, it's in a part-time job. So what are they naturally good at? And especially this year, the last 18 months, they probably had all these plans, go to uni, might have a gap year, but now they can travel. Is that what they're going to do? But those that do want to stop and work, lots of reasons, whether it be money or the mental health, the space that they're in, especially at the moment, what are they going to do? Where do they want to go? So we can certainly assist students. And lastly, where we assist is DISC in sales. So how amazing is it when you can actually read your own customer? Like, apart from the fact it creates the best experience, but imagine how many sales that you can win and secure. So it's just a win-win-win. So that's why I love DISC.
I'm just looking at my notes. I've taken so many notes from what you've just shared, and I just want to recap. I really love your one-act play, your approach to how people approach interviews, because you can be on your best behavior for half an hour, for 45 minutes, an hour. But I love that your tool is making the role to fit the candidate rather than the candidate to fit the role. Really love that approach. How innovative. Your job profiling. Who would have thought? I'm curious to know what type of jobs I might be suited for now, Carmel.
It's also so clever as well, because the job profile will produce a graph. And then when you do the DISC profile on the individual, that has a graph as well. So you match them.
Love it. I can see how it works with sales. Year 12 students coming out of COVID would certainly benefit. And I love the workshop. So it's not just about an individual learning. This is about team engagement, working better, collaborating better, understanding each other, so you can work better as a cohesive team, and attracting the right people into your team as well.
Yes.
Wonderful. Important. I love that tool. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Carla.
I can see you really take a really a people-driven approach in the Proven Group, and that comes through loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. We do very much.
Now, Carmel, you're a member of the Coaching Directory. So what does joining the Coaching Directory mean for you and for your business?
Carla, it means a lot. It means a lot because, and thank you very much for the opportunity, because it allows us, like even today, like to showcase not only our business, but also to how important a career coach is. Like in particular, there's so many rules out there, and unless you're actually in the game or in the industry, you don't know what the rules are. And one particular rule I just want to touch on really quickly is the ATS, which is the applicant tracking system. That is a computer full of algorithms that will read somebody's resume when they apply for a job. It's a tool recruiters use. It's a tool that's built into all the online job boards. So if your resume is not written about you for the role with keywords, the computer will just delete you. And you'll never get past. So by engaging a career coach, that's what I can help you with. But also too, being a part of the directory, it's being a part of a community. It's being part of a great bunch of other coaches as well. And we're all in one directory. And I have to say, Carla, it is a great business model. And you've got all the services at the tip of somebody's fingers when they're looking. And we're just the one-stop shop of professionals. So, yeah, thank you again for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. Maybe we can be the one-act, what did you call it? The one-act play for coaching.
That's it. Exactly. There's no copyright on that. You can use it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, look, that brings us to the end of our interview today. And thank you, Carmel, for joining us on Meet the Coach and for sharing your passion for putting people first when it comes to their careers.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Carla. It was a pleasure.
And thank you to our audience for watching and listening to Meet the Coach. You can connect to Carmel from the Proven Group directly from the Coaching Directory. And if you enjoy our show, please rate and review us and be sure to catch us on the next episode. I'm Carla Regan from the Coaching Directory, where we connect you to your ideal coach.